Thank you for listening to this podcast from
theunheardnerd.com.
If you like what you hear, please consider liking, sharing, reviewing and subscribing on iTunes, Stitcher or your podcast feed of choice and help us to keep creating and improving our content.
Thank you.
For theunheardnerd.com, this is Jump the Shark, the pop culture podcast, and we are dropping listeners faster than Han Solo makes the Kessel Run in Solo, a Star Wars story. Yes, John, the bad news is that we are consistently getting less and less downloads each show that we do, which is a bad sign.
No!
Yep, it's true. I checked the stats and I counted on one hand, and we are definitely losing listeners every show. But that's okay. It's all right. I think shows often start strong with a pilot episode. People's interest is piqued, and then it takes a little while for the story to develop and people to get used to the characters. That's you and me. And then it picks up again. It picks up word of mouth. That's what we need. And I happen to know, John, that we have at least one new listener.
Woohoo!
And again, it's a friend of ours. So keeping with the theme.
Still counts.
Yeah, so a big shout out to JC, little Jamie Collins. Oh, little Jamie Collins, tickle him under the chin. He was bullied into subscribing to the podcast when Five Guys went to Five Guys at the weekend, and we'll have more on that later. And eventually Ben Dinklage turned up and made it Six Guys. So anyway, yeah, more on that coming up. Not so much feedback, but just some commentary on our listenership. Before we get into the show, all hail Jeffy Jeff.
All hail Jeff. Hi Jeff.
Patron saint of the show. That spot is open to being bought off Jeffy Jeff, but it will involve real money. So anybody who wants to be patron saint of the show, get in touch. We accept PayPal. And stuff. So John.
Will.
Going to go full spoilers on the Avengers: Infinity War, and that's okay, isn't it?
I haven't seen it yet. Although I do, thanks to a rogue website that did do a major spoiler for me. Thanks for that.
Damn. I thought I knew a spoiler, and I kind of did going into it, but actually what I thought I knew turned out not to be. So I actually did quite a good job of avoiding spoilers before going to see Avengers: Infinity War.
Well done.
At the IMAX 3D in Blue Water. Anyone that doesn't know...
You're just up the road from me.
Yeah, just up the road from you. Didn't invite you. I thought you were working somewhere. Oh, listen, I thought you were working. Are you not working? You're working.
Yeah, I'm working. Is it the weekend just gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working. Fair enough.
Okay, good. Wow, I would have felt really bad if you were actually not working, because you work all over the bloody country, and But if you had not been working, I would have invited you naturally, and it could have been 7 guys at Five Guys. 7 guys at Five Guys. I had my first experience with Five Guys while we were there. But anyway, Blue Water, the biggest shopping centre known to humankind. So it's like a spaceship in the middle of, I think it's Kent. Is it in Kent? It's Dartford. Gravesend.
Yes, Kent.
Yeah, it's in Kent. It's like a spaceship. I'm not fully convinced it's not a spaceship. I think they're just stocking up for when the end of the world comes and that thing will lift off into space. That's what I think. Also, I lost my car
Possibly. I don't blame you. Several large car parks.
I mean, basically, it's one big circle, and there were car parks all the way around it. And I thought, I'll do the smart thing. I'll park by one of the big department stores, which form. There were sort of it's like one in each. Well, equidistant, there were 3 major department stores. We had 3 cars there. All of 3 of us parked at different department stores. And then met within the confines of this enormous shopping centre. I figured I will park by John Lewis. I parked 3 spaces away from the entrance to John Lewis. I knew my car was there. I knew where it was. There's no way I couldn't find my car at the end. So we went. It was a 10:30 showing, 2.5 hour film, quite long. And obviously you got your adverts before that. Film finishes at 1:30 in the morning. I'm perfectly fine. I haven't been up all day. It's fine. Absolutely knackered, I should say, because I took my family for lunch in Camden in the morning, went to football in the afternoon, went to Five Guys, and then watched a film. And 1:30 in the morning, I've walked out of the. Bearing in mind the shopping centre's closed at this point. It's 1:30 in the morning. There's just a few bods walking around cleaning stuff, and I've walked out by John Lewis. I've gone to the third parking spot from the entrance. No car.
Yeah.
I'm shitting it.
Uh-oh.
I'm absolutely shitting it. I'm like,
oh, God.
Fuck, where is the car? And more importantly, it's a really long walk home from here. And so I'm on the phone to my friends. Shout outs Keith, who didn't pick up first but rang me back, and shout outs JC, our newest listener. And I'm like, guys, I think my car's been stolen. I swear, I'm standing right in the spot where I parked it. I can't find it. I'm really worried, panicking. Like, what do I do? Lost the car. And there's a guy jet washing the car park. So I went over to him and I was like, mate, this sounds like a really stupid question, but I don't suppose there's another entrance to John Lewis around here. And he started laughing. He went, have you lost your car? I said, yeah. Not anywhere near as cool as he appeared to be about it. And he was like, all right, just go in, walk round a little bit more, and come out in the green car park and see if it's there. Which I duly did, and there it was, 3 parking spaces from there, an entrance to John Lewis. That was my car. So I've had a few comments like, shall we call the Avengers to help you find your car? But I did manage to drive home, got home at 2:30 in the morning, so that was my adventure. Going to the Avengers Infinity War. The film was all right. And moving on.
10 years of Marvel Cinematic Universe gets boiled down to, all right.
It's all right. It's okay. Well, there's not much I can say, John, if you haven't seen it. I mean...
Is it too spoilery?
There's a lot that happens, and I don't want to spoil anything for you. It is one of the better Marvel films. I mean, my favourites so far have been... First Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor Ragnarok, in no particular order. Second Guardians, and then the others are all... They're all right. They're okay. I like some of them more than others. Like some of them I don't like at all. Avengers Infinity War, it's up there. It's not funny like Thor Ragnarok or Guardians are. There are comedic moments in it, but mostly it's fairly serious and fairly sinister. Obviously revolves around Thanos and his plan, though I don't know why exactly, but he wants to wipe out half of all life in the universe to bring... equality and I don't know, some kind of equilibrium, I suppose, between I don't know, like good and bad. It's, I guess, kind of a dark side, light side thing going on there. Nothing to do with Marvel owning Disney and Disney owning Lucasfilm and Marvel these days. And it brings together pretty much all the characters that we've seen in the Marvel universe for 10 years, as you say. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And shit kicks off. It's a big fight. There's a lot going on. Lots of different strands. It's nice to see like the different characters sort of coming together and interacting in ways that they've never met before. And the after credits, although very, very short, there's only one after credits scene, no mid credits scene. Although very, very short, is super exciting for me. I'll say no more.
Okay.
It probably gives you a little bit of a hint if you've listened to the show before and seen how excited I am for a forthcoming Marvel film, and terrified of it at the same time in case they fuck it up, which is entirely possible. But yeah, so that's kind of spoiler free. I'd say definitely more than a 4 out of 10, which is. Which is what you can rate us on iTunes if you choose. If you like the show, rate us a 4 out of 10. No, I'd say it's a 4 out of 5. It's not a perfect film, but very, very enjoyable and definitely well worth going. And but don't see it in 3D. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it.
No. Do you think does it suffer a little bit from having too many characters in it? Do you think?
I thought it might, but actually no. For me, it wasn't too much. It wasn't overkill because I'm familiar with all of the characters. Some of them take a sort of a backdrop part rather than being main characters. It's not everyone that you've seen in these films is thrust into the forefront. There are key characters leading sort of teams, and then some of the other characters are in the background. And there's definitely more going on than you sort of notice on screen. That it certainly finishes, and you know the story's not ended. Yeah, there's a lot more to come from this story.
Yeah.
But some of it's quite heartbreaking in a way. But some of it's really
I've
good.
heard Hawkeye isn't in it, or barely in it at all.
Oh,
Is that true?
Hawkeye's mentioned, but he's not in it.
Ah,
Ant-Man is not in it, and although again he's mentioned. I think, God, was it Mark Ruffalo? He's like, so there's a spider and an ant now, and that's kind of a moment of levity. Mark Ruffalo's still
all
really
right.
good. The way he plays Bruce Banner is really, really funny.
Yeah.
Peter Parker's probably
Cool.
the standout character. He's pretty funny in his parts in it. So yeah, I'd say Spider-Man, and Bruce Banner are probably quite the standouts. Groot's a teenager, which is alright. It's quite funny. The Thor story, wow, that takes a sudden turn. If you watch
Uh-huh.
Thor Ragnarok right before this, and like right at the end of Thor Ragnarok, it leads into them seeing the huge ship that Thanos is on. It takes a really dark twist, like straight away.
Oh.
So that's worth looking out for. But yeah, I can't give too much away. There is so much that goes on, and it's really great to see all these characters on screen. It doesn't feel like overkill for me. Again, like I say, because some characters take the lead and others are kind of in the background. And it's probably some of these background characters that are going to make the huge difference moving forward. And it's quite shocking how many of the Avengers are left at the end.
Oh, you bastard.
Well, I didn't say which way.
No, you didn't, but that's
Well, I mean, John, I've not spoiled anything there. Trust me. When you watch the film,
no.
I've not spoiled a thing there.
I've heard that comment said many times before as well.
I mean, like I say, there's a lot more of this story to come. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to
Yeah.
spoil it
Okay.
anymore. So I can't wait for you to see it. Have you got plans to?
Hopefully this week.
Great. So next show,
Uh,
we will be able to spoil the fuck out of it.
yeah. Have you seen Black Panther yet?
I haven't. No, I've got a really ropey version of it, which I'm kind of not wanting to watch because I know it's pretty ropey, but at the same time I really want to see that film. But at the same time I don't want to go to the cinema to watch it.
All right, I haven't seen it either, so that means that watching Infinity War is not spoiled by the fact we haven't seen Black Panther.
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
I think it would probably add a little bit of colour to the picture, and there certainly are parts of the film set in Wakanda, but only small parts. And if you saw, I mean, if you've seen the trailers for Black Panther, and you've watched what's the one where they introduced Black Panther, Civil War. I think it was Civil War. If you've seen
Civil War, yeah.
if you've seen those, you're familiar with who the characters are, and you'll be familiar with the concept. You don't need to have seen. Really, you don't need to have seen any of the films before to know what's going on. It works very much as a standalone film. I was worried about that because, obviously I hadn't seen Black Panther yet. Despite really wanting to, I might download it and watch it. Oh, it might be on the flight when I go to New York. That would be handy if it is. Often they have new films. So, I'm definitely going to watch it in the next few weeks. Either way, it's out on digital download now, as of today, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So I will definitely catch up on that soon. So yeah, it was fun. It was a fun outing. I've never so many people at cinema at one time. I don't think as friends. I remember when we went to college together, we had some fairly big groups. Well, I say fairly big groups. It might be 4 of us. Went to the cinema. Were you there when we went to see Jurassic Park and the picture slipped, the projector slipped, and it was? Were you there?
No.
Okay, there were a few
No,
of
I
us there.
specifically remember Stargate. I'm sure we all watched Stargate together.
Yeah, we
I
did.
think
We definitely, we all watched it, and there was probably 4 or 5 of us then. Actually, wasn't there? All went. But yeah, okay. So this is the biggest party of people I've been with for some time. So regular shout outs to Craig, Big Craig, Daddy Craig, Big Daddy Craig. I don't know what I'm talking about. Craig was there. So basically half of our listenership was there. Craig was there. The aforementioned little Jamie. Um, my friend John, who's not subscribing, so fuck you, John. And Keith was there, who
Cool.
had umbrage at me using the word ambiguity incorrectly. And they've kind of ganged up to convince me not to give the other guy a shout out, which seems a bit mean. I don't know if you remember in the last show, there was one person that was accused of being a bit needy about getting a shout out.
Vaguely.
Vaguely, yeah. But at the same time, they've asked me to reference him as Ben Dinklage. After Peter Dinklage, who appears in Avengers Infinity War.
Oh.
But that's a bit of a slight on Ben's height. So I'm going to give Ben a shout out. Ben was there, and Ben was really excited because it was like the biggest group of us ever going to the cinema. Keith managed not to get tickets with us, and he was sat behind us on the row behind on his own. So, but that was really fun.
In reality, I mean, going to the cinema is sort of partly a very unsocial social event.
It is. It's bizarre.
You'll go sit. You'll go sit in a room, shut up, and watch a film, and don't say anything to each other.
Yeah, it's really nice to go with a friend because you don't want to be on your own. You don't want to be the Jonah sat there like all lonely. But then at the same time, you're going to ignore everyone, even if they talk to you. It's like, shut the fuck up. But no, it was all right. I mean, Keith probably had a very good view from where he was. It wasn't a busy screening by any stretch of the imagination. There were people supposed to be sat next to us, which is why he hadn't sat next to us. But then they moved a seat away anyway. It just would have been weird for him to come and fill that one in the middle. It was my first experience of IMAX, and certainly IMAX 3D. Well, I say first experience of IMAX. First film I've watched in IMAX, because I have seen a bit of Game of Thrones in IMAX in Leicester Square. But yeah, I'd never seen a film in IMAX because tickets are £20 each. Yeah, well, £19 something. I mean, our friend John booked another John. He booked the tickets. Yeah. It was £19. I just gave him 20 quid. But 3D, I really, again, I found it really blurry. Yeah, there's so much action going on in those films that it's hard to take in what's going on. I'd much rather watch a 2D screening, I think. And there was this spot sort of in the top left of my vision that was just a little bit like a bit of a blind spot. It felt like I had cataracts or something.
Oh God.
I was like, fuck, are my eyes going like, I'm getting old age already. But it was just the glasses. I don't know, whether there was light sort of reflecting on them, or just the angle I was watching the screen at. But I had this blind spot, and it was really annoying. There was nothing I could do to stop it. So I'm still not a fan of 3D, but it was much better than regular 3D at a regular multiplex. So there's that. But
was the screen noticeably bigger? Because I've been to Blue Water myself several times, having lived just around the corner.
Yeah.
I just wondered, was the screen really big? Because I've been to the IMAX in Waterloo, and that is a big screen.
Yeah, I've been in that one. I actually, just to have a look around, so I work very close to that one. So I went up there just to business to business sort of, hi, how you doing? Let me have a look at what you do. You come and have a look at what we do. And but I haven't watched a film in there. But that I think it's about the same size screen, but a bigger room. The one, the one it's the BFI IMAX, like the flagship IMAX cinema in London, the one in Waterloo. And although it is a big screen, there's not that many seats really in there, and it's a very steep angle, and you feel quite close to the screen, I think. Whereas at the one at Blue Water, it felt like you were a little bit further away from the screen. But I think the screen was about the same size. I think the only other IMAX experience I've had, as I say, was in Leicester Square, where I went for the Fantastic Beasts Live and a Game of Thrones screening as well. And it was that screen is enormous. It's much bigger. Leicester Square, obviously the sort of centre of cinema in the UK. It's where all the premieres are, albeit usually at the Odeon rather than the Empire, where I went. But that screen felt much bigger, and it was a much bigger auditorium. Yeah, I didn't have any problem with the size of the screen. It was much more. It was noticeably bigger than an ordinary cinema screen. Obviously because you get more height as well as width. So,
oh, right.
but an enjoyable experience. Just I didn't think the 3D was worth it, although it was much crisper.
No.
At times, it was still quite blurry during action scenes, and like I say, that blind spot just really bugged me. So yeah,
shame.
so there we are. That's Avengers: Infinity War. Kind of a tangent, but staying on the same theme, John. It's quite exciting news for somebody who's sort of launching a Lego YouTube series thing. I got sent.
Yes.
I got sent some Lego. I got sent some Lego from Lego. Like,
I saw that the other day.
your silence was deafening on the subject. I wasn't sure if you'd be cross about it or not. But
Insanely jealous. That's why I said nothing.
well, bear with me. I'm going to explain that. So this guy, Josh, he hit me up on Twitter, and he used his personal Twitter account to direct message me, and it was just like, hi, you've been selected to receive some exclusive Lego. We've got some Avengers Infinity War Lego for you. All you've got to do is give me your address.
Okay.
I was like, this doesn't sound right.
Okay.
I looked at Josh's account.
No.
There's nothing about Lego. Linked to his Instagram, it's just pictures of Josh. You know, he's not a bad looking guy, but not my type. And and so I was like, you know what, I'm going to ignore this. It sounds like a scam. And then a few days later, I got another message. Josh is like, mate, are you interested in this? I just need your address and I'll send it to you. And I was like, Josh, I can't accept unsolicited messages. I can't respond to unsolicited messages on Twitter. What I need you to do is email me at theunheardnerd@gmail.com, and from a recognisable or established email address, you know, something that links to Lego. Otherwise, you know, I can't really respond to you. It's unsolicited, and there's no. I just got nothing to go on here. And he was like, yeah, no worries, cool, no problem. So he emailed me straight away. It's like, boom, from a PR company working for Lego. Looked through their website. They dealt with the launch of the Light Cycle Lego, and the Tron Light Cycle Lego that you have and that you did your YouTube video on. So I've got back to him. I was like, great. Yeah, I'm really sorry for being so skeptical. You know, you can't be too careful when a strange man offers you Lego on the internet. And
indeed, we've all been there.
And true to his word, a couple of days later, a big box, like probably 20 minifigs high, came in the post. Yeah. I mean, I could have used a better scale there. I'm not sure it's easy to work out how big that box is from minifigs, but pretty big box. I think, you know, if you go on to our Instagram, which is at The Unheard Nerd, I did put a story on which showed, you know, a minifig next to the box just for scale. And inside the box was another box, and it's a really nice plush black box with magnet sort of fastener on it and Infinity Wars sticker on the top, and I opened it up and there's a lot of paper in there and very, very small boxes of Lego. And it's a very grand box for not very much Lego. I tell you, it's like Amazon packaging. It's all packaging, no package. But inside was a very cool exclusive Infinity Gauntlet, pre-made. Like these were just made for this sort of mail out. No, they're not available in shops as far as I know, and they don't give them out willy-nilly. But so a limited number of these Infinity Gauntlets, which are quite cool, and then 4 brickheads. Now I know we're not a fan of Funkos or Funko Pops or whatever they're called, the big-headed things. These are basically the Lego. Pops. Yeah. These are basically the Lego, and unless they start sending them for free, and then we're like, we love them. I
love their cold, dead eyes.
I would give them away as prizes. I never sent it to you. I did a Funko Pop of you. You can design them online. I never sent it to you. I designed one of you, and I never sent it to you. I'll find that and I'll send it to you.
You should dig it out. Send it over.
Yeah, I will have to. I did a screenshot of it. I think the idea is that you can make a Funko Pop of yourself. Anyway, brickheads. We were talking Lego. Brickheads are like the Lego version of them really. They're big-headed Lego builds. So I got a Star-Lord, I got Gamora, I got Iron Man, and I got Thanos to build, which is really cool. All from Lego, just for, I guess, for writing about Lego, you writing about Lego, and us, and you doing the YouTube video as well, I presume,
cool.
Which is really cool. So what I'm getting to, John, is that I'm going to work this relationship and try and get more Lego, and that would
free Lego.
That would help to progress your YouTube channel. Sounds good. Sounds good, right?
Hopefully they won't. Brilliant. Yes.
Cool. Well, there we go then. So I mean, that's my plan. Build the relationship, get free Lego. Yeah. So
when you say the gauntlet was pre-made, was it like glued down, or is it literally just normal bricks put together?
Hang on, let me grab it. I didn't check whether it falls apart. It's pre-made.
Don't know why. Just curious.
Yeah, no, that's a good shot. It is glued. Yeah, it's glued.
Oh right. I don't want to risk it coming apart in the packaging, I guess.
Yeah. It's clearly. I mean, it's clearly made of Lego bricks, like individual bricks. It's not like a 3D printed thing or anything. But yeah, I hadn't actually checked that. I didn't even think to. I did wonder why it didn't fall. Oh, the Infinity Stones come off. But everything else seems pretty glued down actually.
You'll have to stick up a picture. I mean, when you say it's a gauntlet, is it just like a resting natural hand position, or is it in a fist, or?
Well, at the moment it's flipping the bird. I'm just going to post a picture to Twitter. Hang on, let me take a photo of it.
So you've got opposable fingers then?
Yeah. The fingers are opposable. This is.
Right. Brilliant.
Hang on. There we go. All right, so I'm going to post that to Twitter, and you'll be able to see it in a second. People will be like, "What the fuck is that?" Hang on, let's make it. Oh, let's crop that down. This is great radio. Great radio. Listen to me post a tweet. Currently discussing this on Jump the Shark podcast. Listen later to find out why. Boom. There you go, John. If you check Twitter in a couple of seconds when that's uploaded, boom, there it is. That's the Infinity Gauntlet. Flipping the bird. So yeah, that was nice. I haven't made the Funko Pops yet. Not Funko Pops. Fuck. Okay. Lego are never going to send us. Yeah, Lego are never going to send us more.
No, that's it. You've ruined the relationship now.
Oh, I'm really sorry, Josh. I loved all your Instagram pictures. I'm going to go on and heart them all. And as we speak, Mr. Jamie Collins, who I went to the cinema with, has joined. Has started following us on Facebook. That's nice. Hi, Jamie.
Ah.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
So so Lego. That's pretty cool. I'm quite pleased with that. This week on a similar theme, I also built a TIE fighter, a Metal Earth TIE fighter, which was fun.
Nice.
And really, really fiddly. Which goes with my Millennium Falcon now and my Tokyo Tower. No real theme there. Yeah. But if anyone that doesn't know, Metal Earth are like these. You get these two metal stainless. Well, I don't know if they're aluminium or something. Like really shiny metal, plates, and they've got all the parts that you need to make a model cut out, and you have to tweak them out and fold them and bend them, and they fit together. There's no glue required. They just fit together by sticking bits in holes and twisting to hold everything in place. And what you end up with is a really shiny model at the end. They're really there's something really satisfying about building them. But this one, the TIE Fighter, was really, really fiddly. It's like so many small parts to build. But it came out really well. I'm not going to take a photo of that and put it on Twitter at the moment. But anyone that follows me at that nerd will have seen that already. So there we are. Right, so shall we move on from Avengers Infinity War?
Yeah.
What have you been watching, John? Have you watched anything?
This time I've been mostly binge watching Mindhunter.
Mindhunter?
Yes.
Mindhunter? What is Mindhunter?
It's a series that's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
What caught my attention initially was the fact that it's produced and sometimes directed by David Fincher.
Okay.
Who was Alien 3, Seven, Panic Room, Zodiac, lots of I think all of his films are great. I don't really dislike any of them. So I thought I'd jump on this series, see what this is all about. And it's all about an FBI agent called Holden Ford in 1977, and he's like a negotiator for hostage situations. And he gets to team up with another agent called Bill Tench, and they go around to sort of local police stations all around the country, sort of trying to teach them about behavioural science and how if you think about the mind of the killer, it might help you figure out, why they're killing and how these murders are going to happen. And on one of these trips, Holden goes, "Oh, we're going to such and such a place. In the prison in that place, they've got I can't remember names, sorry, but they've got this serial killer." He goes, "I want to go there and interview him." And he's like, "You mad?" He goes, "No, if we interview him and find out why he did these killings and what he was thinking at the time, we can sort of try and figure out the psychology of the situation, and hopefully they want to build up criminal profiling."
All right.
So it's 10 episodes long, and they range from 34 to 60 minutes each. It doesn't really matter. There's no set time. They're as long as they want to be. So I thought it caught me a bit off guard.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that I found happening quite a lot on Netflix. That your episodes can range in length. Quite bizarre. Sorry, carry on.
So there's no action. There's no gunfights. There's no chasing around in cars or anything. It's literally these two FBI agents going around to different states, and almost every episode they interview a new serial killer and how he did the murders, why he did the murders, and they set up this department at the FBI, the Behavioural Science Unit, to hopefully try and start up criminal profiling. And it's just so goddamn brilliant and interesting.
Oh wow! So do they sort of show when they're interviewing? Surely it's not just them talking. Do they have flashbacks of the action the killing? Things like that?
No, they just you just get to see the photos from the crime scene.
Oh right.
But it's just so goddamn interesting and well done that you don't really mind that you're not seeing. I mean, the only action that I can remember in the entire series, there's one car crash, but that's a sort of a genuine driving accident, but it just hits you as a shock when it happens.
Yeah. And
the very first, I think it's like 10 minutes into the first episode, when you see Holden being a negotiator, the criminal puts a shotgun to his head and blasts his head off.
Oh wow.
But that is the only sort of, as far as I can remember, that's the only violent part of the whole series. The rest is all shown through. You get to see the photographs of the actual crimes, and they're still pretty disturbing even then. But
yeah, wow.
But yeah, I was hooked and I watched the whole lot just over a few days.
Oh crikey! So when you said Mindhunter, I thought of Mindhorn.
All right.
Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, carry on. Doesn't matter. It's a very low budget British comedy starring one of the guys from The Mighty Boosh, as he was a sort of a cop in an 80s detective show where he had an artificial eye that could see the truth in people's minds. It's really cheesy. Honestly, let's carry on. It's on Netflix or Amazon or something.
It's a world away from that.
Okay, good. Okay, well, I might give that a look then. Mindhunter. Cool. Have you been watching Lost in Space?
I haven't started yet, unfortunately, no.
Oh, wow. I thought you'd be straight on that, I'll be honest.
I know, I knew a bit of sci-fi. Normally I would, but just haven't had the time recently.
Okay. Do you think you might watch it at home? Because it's a family show, although maybe not.
I want, yeah. the missus is interested in it. She wants to see it as well.
Yeah, it might not be great for the little ones just yet. There are some quite tense moments, certainly in the first episode, enough to put my wife off watching it because she can't stand kids in distress. But
Okay.
yeah, that's the whole thing. Lost in space family against the elements, so to speak. I've really enjoyed it. I'm up to I think episode 8 of 10, and I really, in a cheesy adolescent way, I really enjoyed the old black and white series that I watched, when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Albeit reruns. Obviously, I'm not that old. It feels like it sometimes, but I'm not quite there. But it really, it's quite good. It sort of blends, core elements from the original show, but brings them right up to date, and they've done it really, really well. I think it's really fantastic, and there's a lot of drama. The pacing's a little bit slow on it. It could get to where it's going a little bit quicker, but all the actors are quite good. Yeah, the kids usually in stuff I don't like, but I'm okay with all of them in this, and yeah, it's a pretty good series. More sci-fi coming to TV in the UK. The 100 or the 100, however you say it, returns to UK screens tomorrow. That's Wednesday the 9th of May in the UK. The show obviously will go out after that's on, but I'm sure you can catch up TV for people in the UK. I think it's 4th season. I'm not sure, 3rd or 4th season. I think it's 4th season. We've watched them all, and it's a little bit hit and miss at times, but overall more hit than miss. So there's that. Something else that's coming back, John, that I think we enjoyed at least some of the first series, or actually this is still the first series. The Toys That Made Us is returning.
Oh yes.
4 more.
Brilliant.
Yeah, 4 more episodes that make up the rest of season 1. And then I think it's been commissioned for season 2 as well, which is great news. But the 4 episodes that are coming up, which again come out in May, I'm not sure what time, what date, but very soon. Transformers,
awesome.
Star Trek, Lego. We love Lego, Josh. We love Lego. And Hello Kitty.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Well, 3 out of 4 is good.
Okay, John, come on. I thought you'd be all over the Hello Kitty.
God's sake.
What's not to love about Hello Kitty?
I don't know. What is it? What is it? It's a cat.
Interesting that in every country that shows Hello Kitty lives in the main city of that country. In England, Hello Kitty lives in London, even though it's obviously not London. Yeah, little regional tweaks there on Hello Kitty. I don't know. I think it'll still be interesting because in the first 4 episodes, which covered Star Wars, G.I. Joe, He-Man, and Barbie. I thought the Barbie episode was actually one of the most interesting because it was something I knew nothing about, and it wasn't at all the fluffy, lovely story that you imagine it to be. It was actually quite the opposite. So I think they do a really good job of telling a story, even if it's something that you're not necessarily interested in. They managed to tell it in a really interesting way. Somebody who is a fan of Hello Kitty is Deadpool.
Yes,
it's true. He's a big fan.
It is true.
And we've seen a new trailer for Deadpool 2, and
yes,
the greatest character by far is his name John Delaney as, is it James? I think it's James, isn't it? He plays.
Is it Rob Delaney as Peter?
Rob Delaney as, is it Peter? Yes, Peter then.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I want to watch the film just for him. He looks amazing. He's just like a middle-aged dad.
Twitter account.
He has, following it. I mean, I like Rob Delaney anyway. I think he's funny. There was a show.
He is, yeah.
Again, I can't remember the name of the show, but where he's obviously American. In the show, he gets married to an English woman, and they both wrote the show and created this show, and it's about them having a relationship and then having a baby, and like how they basically are just fuck ups moving from one disaster to another, and it's actually really funny. I can't for the life of me remember what it is, but so I like Rob Delaney for that. He's kind of become a British citizen without the citizenship, and he's a big promoter of the Labour Party over here for some reason. which sounds weird, but it's amazing that he's landed this part in like this big film, which looks like it's going to be pretty funny.
There's one line I really love from the second trailer, where I think it's Cable stabs him in the shoulder with a knife, and as it says some depressing line about killing, and Deadpool just says, "Oh, that's very dark. You sure you're not from the DC universe?"
Yeah. I haven't read the story, but there was something about they had to take out a Disney gag from the trailer.
Yeah,
from the film.
yeah. There was a Disney gag in the film because it's Disney are possibly going to buy out Fox. They unfortunately were told to remove it. a bit too close to the bone, apparently.
Maybe, yeah. And there was a moustache gag as well, wasn't there? About the CGI. It was like, well, it's not like, oh yeah, Cable's got a green screen arm, and they're like, it's not like we're moving a freaking moustache, is it? That was quite funny too. Yes,
I saw Batman Ninja.
Batman Ninja, because that sounds like the most awesome team up of skill and superhero-dom that has ever existed. Tell me all about Batman Ninja, because I need to know.
Well, it's batshit crazy.
Wow, batshit crazy ninja. I like it. So what, is it set in Japan or something?
Yeah, Batman goes to Arkham Asylum where he meets Gorilla Grodd, who's invented a time machine, and he activates it when Batman gets there. And so Gorilla, Batman, Catwoman, Joker, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Two-Face, Red Robin, Nighthawk, and Alfred, I think that's the whole list, all get transported back to like feudal Japan. Because of the way time travel works, it turns out practically everyone except Batman arrived 2 years earlier, so they're already sort of set up and running when Batman arrives.
Right.
And to break the story down into sort of two basic parts, it's almost literally the first half is Batman having fights and losing all his technology. So he loses all his gadgets. This iteration of the Batmobile, which gets destroyed almost, becomes a Bat plane, and then gets a bit more destroyed, and then becomes a Bat cycle, which is crazy. And in the second half of the film, each of these enemies has turned their base into basically a giant mecha robot. So it's just utterly crazy. So the end of the film is these sort of like temples and buildings which are all bolting together to form giant robots that fight each other. I told you it's crazy.
Sounds a bit like Blue Water at the apocalypse.
The artwork is amazing. I mean, when you compare it to the sort of DC direct-to-video stuff they churn out, it's just so much better. It looks absolutely wonderful. There's so much detail in the drawings. It really comes to life.
So in the last podcast, you mentioned, is it Gotham by Gaslight, and the animation was a little bit Saturday morning TV cartoon. So it's not. It's better than that.
Way better.
Way better. That's good to know.
Way better. I mean, this obviously this is pretty much Batman anime from Japan. So I always find their level of their level of artwork is just it's brilliant stuff.
Good stuff.
Oh. It's night and day compared to Gotham by Gaslight.
Good to know. Good to know. On a scale of 1 to 4 out of 10, which one is it?
Sorry?
On a scale of 1 to 4 out of 10, because we only get 4 out of 10 reviews, so you can only go up to 4 these days.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That was a little bit. Okay, yeah. So 1 to 5. What do you reckon? One.
Oh, 4.5.
4.5. That's pretty damn good. Okay, that sounds like something I need to watch then. Is it long?
It's about hour 20.
Hour 20. That's all right. That's doable. Doable in a sitting. I might want to be a ninja after that, though. Have you ever thought about being a ninja, John? I mean, we could just give up everything. Give up podcasting, building a website, just become ninjas.
Just become ninjas.
Could do.
Dear. Oh, that does remind me. I've watched the first episode of Cobra Kai, and it's fantastic.
Oh, is it? It's on YouTube Red,
Yeah,
right? Which I don't understand at all.
yeah.
Is
That's
YouTube
just a paid for service, isn't it?
YouTube you have to pay for? Is it like a subscription, or can you just watch per episode, or did you illegally download it?
Well,
Be careful what you
no,
answer
the first
there.
no, the first two episodes are free. So I've watched the first one.
Mhm.
I did notice it's saying it's 10 episodes and it's £1.89 per episode.
Which isn't going to break the bank, is it? But at the same time, you could just illegally
No.
download it,
You
probably.
could do.
You could do, I expect. I'm not condoning
Why
it.
you download these things?
Yeah, well, exactly. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying it's a possibility. It's something you could do if you wanted to. Cool. Okay, so Batman Ninja sounds pretty awesome. Might have to give that a watch when time allows. I'm going to Secret Cinema tomorrow, John. It's finally come. The day
Oh,
has
is it
come.
tomorrow?
Yeah, going to see.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, anyone that hasn't already heard on previous episodes, I can't believe there's that many new listeners. Yeah, I'm going to the Blade Runner Secret Cinema, and I didn't realise we got to dress up and everything. Like you got to play a part.
That's right. Yeah.
Alpha Arcadia, I think that's where I'm going. Off-world.
Okay.
My industry is scavenger. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Job title is dreamer, and my new identity, my new name, is William. That's my name. That's already my name. It's William Witchell. So
Okay.
half a new identity there. I don't know how, but they managed to give me the same name. So yeah, I've got to dress up as a scavenger, and I have now got one of those fancy umbrellas with a light up LED in the middle.
Ah, awesome.
Which I can't wait for it to be winter again, because that's going to look kick ass. Having just got into spring and the early signs of summer coming around the corner. I'm looking for a dark day so I can use my umbrella. So that'll be quite interesting. Apparently, you can either just explore the world of Blade Runner. It's like they've made an environment, like the world, like that you see Deckard in, or you can sit and watch the film in that environment. So you're free to roam, or you can. And yeah, they've got all these sort of Oriental or Asian food stands, just like in the film. So that's cool.
Awesome.
I won't be able to take photos because they make you put your phone in a bag or something. But
I know, but for a handy fee, you can buy a disposable camera to use on site.
Can you? Oh, well, that's good. Good
I
to see they're
think
not
you can. I'm
wasting
pretty
a
sure you
revenue
can.
stream. Oh, well, that's disposable cameras. That's really retro, isn't it?
And I think you can. I think so. I've obviously seen reports on. What was it? They did a Back to the Future one, didn't they?
Hmm.
And one. The Empire Strikes Back was the other one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they've done a few. I mean, it started off really small, didn't it? It started off.
They've done more.
It started off literally like you would sign up, get email updates. When a film came up that you liked, you would email back, or you'd get on a list or buy tickets, and they would email you like a day before saying where it is. And it used to be in like old disused like tube lines, like you'd sit on a platform and watch a film, or like really small things. But it's become this huge thing now, hasn't it? Which runs for like weeks on end, and fully immersive. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little bit daunted by it. I'm not looking forward to travelling on the tube looking like a scavenger, but I'm going to have to, and I'm going to have to put my stuff on at work and leave work looking like that, which is a little bit daunting as well.
Oh, no.
But I'll just sneak out the back
Sorry,
door.
once you get nearby, there'll be loads of other people as well.
Yeah, I reckon. So looking forward to that. That's tomorrow. Let's have a little chat about stuff that's coming up. There's been a few trailers for things. We saw a new trailer for Solo, a Star Wars story, which looks cool.
Yes.
The latest trailer,
Excited for that one.
Yeah, makes it look much better, and I'm a lot more hyped than I was before. Get the feeling it's going to be a really good film.
Yeah. No, I've tried not to watch the TV spots, but
no, I don't watch them.
There's some. I know there are some moments between Chewie and Han in the TV spots that really make me laugh. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. I mean, I read a story this morning that put this up as a good news point. When films have review embargoes that only let the film reviews go out like the day before the film's released, or even the day the film released, you think, oh, hang on a minute, there's a reason for that. What are they not telling us? What are they hiding?
Yeah.
But apparently the review embargo for Solo is 2 weeks before its release.
Oh, right.
So obviously Disney is very confident they've got a good film on their hands.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I mean, it seems, like, there were all the rumors about Rogue One and all the reshoots and everything, and that turned out to be, I'd say almost at this point my favorite Star Wars film. Bizarrely, even though there are parts of it I don't like, but yeah. So I'm really hyped to go and see Solo. It comes out here in the UK on the 24th of May, and then in the US on the 25th of May. Interestingly, so we get it a day early, which is cool. But it's also
we get a lot of Marvel stuff a few days early as well. Usually,
well, we do, yeah. But in the case of Ant-Man, we're getting it much later. We're getting like a month later, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is that we Brits like a little game called football. Other parts of the world might call it soccer, but they're wrong. And cause it clashes with the World Cup. The release of Ant-Man clashes with the World Cup. Now, people in America don't really care so much, so they're going to release it there anyway. But they're going to wait a month until after the World Cup to show it here, where we will be depressed because England, or insert home nation here, have fallen out of the World Cup in tragic style, as always, and someone else has won it. So, but Ant-Man's got a really tough gig, I mean, coming after Avengers Infinity War, that's a really tough gig.
Yeah.
I know it's supposed to cleanse the palate a little bit. It's like a light-hearted film, a bit more comedic than Avengers Infinity War, which is a lot more serious, but I just don't know how it's going to hold up after that. It's a tough one. But I don't think there's any good film that you could put after that unless they put the next Infinity Wars or the next Avengers film straight out after it. So so there's that one. Robin Hood. Is it Taron Egerton?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Taron.
That's him. That'd be him. Taron.
It's Taron, yeah. So he is famous for the Kingsman films. He's the young youth or chav in that, yeah. And he was also he was also in Eddie the Eagle, the film about Eddie the Eagle, which is
I forgot about that. That is a really good film.
It's a really good film, yeah. I really enjoyed that. So he's
none of it's true, but still very good.
yeah, liberal use of a true story there. But he's going to play Robin Hood, and I've got to say, John, I watched that trailer. Oh, it doesn't look good.
Just looks like all the others.
I don't know.
I mean, it reminds me a lot of that. What was that? Guy Ritchie, King Arthur film.
I didn't watch that.
That kind of vibe to it.
Yeah,
okay.
It's trying to be like a sort of a high action film set in times where high action wasn't really achievable. There's no guns or helicopters and shit like that, so we're gonna have him sort of leaping through the air, shooting arrows in every direction, like an acrobat or something. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't buy into that whole thing. I'm not feeling it. So I think I'm going to give Robin Hood a miss. I wasn't a fan of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which did incredibly well, mainly because Kevin Costner.
Well, didn't it?
Yeah, because Kevin Costner clearly couldn't be bothered to learn how to speak with an English accent. Hey, little John. If it wasn't for that film, we wouldn't have had the Bryan Adams song. Oh well, there we go. That's reason to boycott it. Everything I do it for you. Yeah, thanks for that. I mean, interesting though. NAF music we wouldn't listen to can become quite popular thanks to films, and as we saw with Deadpool 2 and Celine Dion. She who gave us that Titanic song that was at number 1 for 15 years.
My heart will go on.
Yeah, my song will go on, and my heart will give out. She's recorded a song for Deadpool 2, hasn't she? There's a video with Deadpool in.
I've seen it. I've seen it, but I haven't actually watched the video yet.
Yeah, I started watching it. I was like, this is Celine Dion. What the fuck am I doing? I'm ruining my YouTube history. People might look at that. But then I had to watch it all the way through, and it's all right. It's funny, but it's Deadpool. Yeah. But it ain't all that. It ain't all that. Also, last thing coming up, we've got Luke Cage, the season 2 trailer dropped yesterday. And Luke Cage meets his match with somebody as hard as him. Can you believe it? That seems impossible. Bulletproof Man meets Bulletproof Man.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's coming up. Looks quite fun. That's on Netflix. And yeah, Book a Month isn't going very well.
Oh dear.
I'm reading Walk Away by Cory Doctorow, and I am finding it very, very hard going. I've just broken the back of it. I've just gone over halfway, but it's a really tough book. It's not intrinsically bad, it's just not that good. Essentially it deals with a sort of near future, I suppose, where the rich are even richer and the poor are even poorer, and in order to escape these societal traps, people choose to literally walk away and go and live in a kind of the wilderness, I suppose, like the outback in Australia, but it's in Canada. I don't know what the equivalent is. And basically they've got 3D printers on a much larger scale. They can produce anything they need without having to live within the constraints of society. And more people are doing this, and they've got their own universities where they're developing science, working on scientific projects and things like that. And they're also working on being able to upload consciousness into servers and live effectively as a entity outside of a body. And they achieve it with one person, and they plan to upload a lot of bodies into a satellite in orbit. That's about as far as I've got. It's not all that. Not all that. So I'm struggling with it. Book a Month has taken a bit of a. It's more like 5 months in now, and I'm on my third book. It's not so good. But I'll catch up in the summer when I'm on holiday and I've got no TV, radio, or internet, and I'll just read books. I'll read about 5 books probably when I'm on holiday. So that's cool. Yeah. Anything else to talk about?
Something. Well, I just thought a book I'd mentioned I'd forgotten I'd read until recently. The Geek's Guide to Science Fiction Cinema: 30 Key Films that Revolutionised the Genre.
Oh, cool.
Written by Ryan Lambie, who's a regular contributor to one of our favourite websites, The Den of Geek. The book does exactly what it says on the cover. He picks 30 films and goes into detail about them and how they influenced other films that come along, be they just in the same genre, or they might have copied it slightly, or I don't recall ever reading a guide to cinema in any form before, but I've really enjoyed it. Picks 30 science fiction films and how they influence sort of science fiction cinema in different ways.
So what films are featured? Like, gives a handful.
I can pick my brain up. Obviously 2001's in there.
Yep, very slow.
Star Wars.
A bit faster, yeah.
I read it when it came out back in February, so I'm struggling to remember what.
That's cool. There's a review on the website, isn't there?
It picks. No, that was a different book.
Was it another Den of Geek? Have I completely not listened to a word you said? Is that what?
Don't say that.
No, I'm sorry. I think I've just missed something key there. I'm sorry. I think I got distracted.
No, the book I reviewed for the website was Movie Geek: The Den of Geek Guide to the Movieverse.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. It's lots of the word geek. I think it's probably throwing you off. This is the Geek's Guide to Science Fiction Cinema.
Right, got it. Cool. Well, that sounds interesting.
Just check it out on Amazon. It's only a $5 for the Kindle edition at the moment. I recommend it.
Cool. Well, there we go. On that note, I almost said bombshell. That would have been totally Top Gear rip-off, wouldn't it? On that bombshell.
Just a bit.
Can you believe Jeremy Clarkson is now the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I haven't even tried watching it because the thought just scares me.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, but I haven't watched it in years. I didn't even know it was still on. I thought it had finished.
Yeah, as far as I know, it had finished years ago. It's just reruns on Challenge TV and stuff.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. The more you know. The more you know. Yeah, that includes another episode of Jump the Shark, the podcast. And if you do enjoy the show, it would be really cool if you're a subscriber on iTunes. If you just scroll to the bottom of where you pick up the show and just give us a little rating. I think it's 1 to 5. Any of those will do. And if you're feeling extra generous, give us a little review, because the more people that do that, the more visible we become on there, and hopefully we can increase our listenership. We would really appreciate that. If you get it on Stitcher, you can do the same thing. You can favour it, or I think you can rate it, or whatever your podcast aggregator uses. Rate, review, whatever. Or if nothing else, just share it on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, and just say, I'm listening to this show, you should too. That'd be awesome. If you want to get in touch with us, please do. We love your feedback. We love hearing from you, mostly the bad stuff. The good stuff, not so much. And you can find us on Twitter. I'm at That Nerd Will, and John is at UK Film Nerd. Or generically, you can find us at The Unheard. There's a lot of ats in that. At The Unheard Nerd. Facebook.com/The Unheard Nerd. You can message us. I think it says usually responds at some point, instead of like within 5 minutes or whatever is recommended. You can email. It's theunheardnerd@gmail.com. And there's a contacts page on the website. It's theunheardnerd.com. You can literally click on theunheardnerd.com/contact and email us direct through the website. So lots of ways to get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to shout out, just ping us an email. Let us know what you'd like to talk about. Let us know what you've enjoyed, what you've disliked, what we've cocked up, any mistakes we've made, what you agree with. There's lots, I'm sure. And we'd love to hear from you. We'll give you a shout out. So thanks for listening, Ben, Craig, John, JC, Keith, Jeffy Jeff, and everybody else who listens that actually doesn't tell us that they're listening. We love you very much. Thanks for listening. John, it's been a pleasure.
As always. Thanks, Phil.
Name feelings, first name I've got so many ready for any 20-minute time slot. Throw your confetti, I'm rolling heavy on a broad walk, shining light on societal blind spots. Call the Vice Squad, call the Night's Watch on me. I'm a half black rapper, half white walker zombie. I know you never heard of Tribe One and Rocky, but you're gonna wanna have us on your iPod promptly. Went against the grain and they portrayed me as a rebel. I don't wanna change the game, I wanna play a different level. And this beat is so goddamn dope, no joke. I almost wish it could have stayed an instrumental. I've been following a dream since barely 18. Suckers dare to compare like they're the same thing, but if this was just another harebrained scheme, why am I flyer than an airplane wing? And we jump like we never had to walk on solid ground. And we rock like we don't know how to turn the volume down. And we dance like we never wore a tux or ballroom gown. You'll know when you see us, cause we work like we didn't have an ocean between us. Born in this form, I was forged in a furnace, and I only want your support when I've earned it. So save your money till you're sure I deserve it. Until then, download it, torrent, and burn it. I'm not concerned with Grammys or clout. I'd rather hiss the galaxy and read the salmon of doubt. No friends, only fam is the chant that we shout. Trying to make the world better and our families proud. It's just a matter of time before we get to the top. On the rise like Legos and Tetris blocks, stacking real hip-hop, electric pop, Celtic rock, and anything else you got. Throw it in the melting pot for a mixture of sacred ancient artifacts, blending indie rock guitars and gnarly party raps. Yeah, we're talented, but how do you market that? Just call it Malibu Shark Attack.